God is just truly good.
Yes, He is. Yes, He is.
Now, in all of this, there has to be a devil in the book. Just like Jesus had 12 disciples, one of them was a devil. And it won't be complete unless the devil shows up. My name is Jezebel. My father's name was Jezebel. He was king of the Zidonians. And he served the goddess Baal as well as myself. So he was Jezebel, I'm Jezebel, we serve Baal. Is there enough Baals for you? I lived on Wicked Avenue and never moved up. I love where I live. Can I tell you what my area code was? John 10 and 10. The thief come to steal, kill, and destroy. All right. You see, to steal, kill, and destroy was hobbies of mine. All right. You see, I was the most wicked woman that was in the Bible. All right. Nobody took my job. I was wicked, I made no apology, and I had no remorse. I lied some. How about you? And just to show you that I didn't tell all lies, the great prophet Elijah, crossed me one day, and I told her, I'm going to make your life like the life that you made of the prophets that sat at my table. And y'all know the story about what the prophet did. He took a run. And not only did he run, the Bible says that he said that he wanted to die. But can I tell you something about that? If that had been a lie, I would have liked to see what he would have done about the truth. Amen. I'm Jezebel. I'm wicked, and I don't want anything to do with righteousness. Nobody wanted to name their little girl Jezebel. Everybody talks about things, but don't nobody want to be called a Jezebel. Amen. When you think, I've heard different names, satanic and all of this, but you don't hear anybody naming anybody Jezebel. You see, when I stand for wickedness, and see, this is the thing that I come to tell you today, that either you're going to be right or either you're going to be wrong. Yes. And see, I chose wickedness because righteousness, I done found out if you don't go right and straight, the straight and narrow way, you gonna pay for some things on down the road. And see, one thing about this, that you don't have to be perfect, but along the line, you got to straighten up your act. Yes, sir. You see, I didn't have time to straighten up my act. I just wanted to be wicked. See, I was one of them that I love having my own way. See, you would find me any day at home. See, I didn't have time for my husband to wear the pants. My husband was weak and I made no excuse about it. Amen. But I'm just Jezebel. And that's all I want to tell you about. I'm just Jezebel. Can I ask you something? Will you let your husband wear the pants? Well. Wait it up. See, he was weak, but I didn't complain about him being weak. You see, many women today complain and talk, and they're in competition. You see, the biggest thing at home is I make more money than you. You see, the woman can make as much money as her husband. You see, I was just as popular as my husband Ahab because he was the king of Israel. And And see, and what I found out about it, that there was no need for me to compete with him. All I needed to do was to complete him.
Go ahead.
And see, that's what's important in life. Not to spend all your time trying to compete and having the last word. How many, look, don't let me step on your feet about having that last word. You see, I was seductive. I had to have my way. I was this way and that way. Now, ladies, can I ask you a question this morning? Who are you when the doors are closed?
Go ahead.
You see, I'm wicked, but I want to ask you something because you're righteous. Who are you? Can I ask you something else? Do you love, I want to ask you, would you love everybody? Just the folks in your church. Do you love just the folks in your church?
Lord Jesus.
You see, with me being wicked, I dealt with wickedness and I dealt with folks in the church too. But you know who, the folks outside didn't judge me. It was the folks inside of the church that judged me.
Yes.
My Lord.
But I told them it didn't matter because I was just wicked anyway. And it wasn't that I didn't know the difference between right and wrong. But I found out that being righteous, I had to do what the Bible said to do. And see, what I wanted to tell you, I didn't have time to go straight all the way. Oh, I came to church sometime. Y'all know the devil will come to church.
Yes.
The devil will come to church. And see, even though I've been gone years ago, but my spirit still comes up in the church. Can I tell you where it comes up in? See, I like to get started with cliques. Have y'all heard of that? I'm the one that gets started with, my spirit starts with folks to get cliques. Pastor Carter, he preached this morning, went down my name. Pastor, see, but I like the first, I like the pastor, but I don't like the first lady.
Okay.
You see, and then if the cliques is not good enough, then we move to the choir, the praise team. See, if I can't sing my song today, don't worry about me coming next Sunday. I'm just wicked. Follow me, if you will, in 1 Kings 21. This is where I did the biggest work in the Bible. This is where I really showed up to show you that I knew that I was bad, I was wicked, I knew what I was doing, and nobody cried. It was unheard of for a woman to cross me. I was just that bad. I could get my cake and ice cream and eat it too. I was just bad. I don't want to make no mistake about it. But here in 1 Kings 21, I want you to look at verses 5, 6, and 7, where Ahab wanted Nabal's land. And Nabal wouldn't give Ahab the land, so he went to his bad wife Jezebel and told Jezebel that, hey, you know what? I asked Nabal that if he would sell me his land, if he didn't, I would give him the money for it, or either I will swap and give him another land for it. But he said no. So she told him, she said, look, does verse 7. His Jezebel, his wife, said to him, dost thou not govern the kingdom of Israel?